Hi guys, it's Mrs. Davis here. I'm just here to give you a little help on that worksheet that you have for at-home learning with ratio tables. If you take a look at this worksheet, if we look at this 4 to 20, that relationship, you can probably identify that one pretty quick, so you know what to do here. And then even looking even further at it from 721, you can figure out what to do there to know what you put there. All right, same thing with number 2. When you get to number 3, though, it's hard to identify any relationship. So you can pull out these ratios that we're looking at. So the first one that we're going to kind of take a look at are these boxes, because I'm given this ratio here. So let's start with that. So we have 16 to 24. So remember, one strategy we talked about is simplifying it. So if I simplify this by dividing each number by 4, I'm going to have 4 to 6. So now I'm going to use that ratio 4 to 6, and I know it has to be equivalent because remember, they're ratio tables, so we're creating equivalent ratios in a table form. So I'm going to take this 18, put it down here, and I'm trying to figure out what I need up top to fill in this box. So if I look at my ratio, I have 6, and I'm getting to 18. So we're going to multiply by 3, which means if I multiplied the bottom, the denominator by 3, I have to multiply the numerator by 3. So I have a 12 there. So now I know 12 is going to fill in that blank. Now, if I look at my other set, so kind of look at the table like this, focusing in on those two ratios. If I look at the one I have 15 to 12. And if I simplify that by dividing each number by 3, on the numerator, if I divide by 3, I have a 5. And on the bottom, the denominator, if I divide by 3, I have a 4. So I'm going to take that 5 to 4 and apply it over here where I have that 16 on the bottom and try to figure out what goes up top. So to get from 4 to 16, I'm multiplying by 4. So I'm going to multiply by 4 here. So I end up with 20. So that ratio table is complete. 20 to 15, 16 to 12, 24 to 18. All right. Now, if you don't like doing it that way, I'm going to remind you of the other way that you can go about doing this. Let me get rid of all this stuff first. So we're going to, again, focus on what we're given. So let's start on the bottom here because we have a complete ratio set up here, 16 to 24. So if I take that 16 to 24, and I set it equivalent to something over 18, remember we're trying to figure out what is going to go on top here. So remember the strategy, I said you're going to cross multiply. So you're going to do 16 times 8. And when you do 16 times 18, you're going to get 288. Then you take that number and divide it by the remaining numbers. So 288 divided by 24, which will give us that same number we had before here, 12. And then to do the same thing on the top, we have something over 16 is equivalent to 15 over 12. So again, you're going to take what you have, 16 times 15, which is 240, and divide it by 12. So you get an answer of 20. So 20 to 15, 16 to 12, 24 to 18. So same thing we had before. Also, one thing to notice here, it's nice if you could keep your ratio tables in order, but if you have numbers like 20, 16, 24 that don't seem to go in order, it's fine. As long as they're all equivalent ratios, that is just fine. All right, let's take a look at one of these word problems. So let's start with this number 5. It says, on a bike trip across Michigan, Lance noted he covers about 190 miles every 4 days. If he continues at the same rate, how many miles could he travel in 6 days? So we got 190 miles in 4 days. So one thing that's nice to try out is to see if you can come up with a unit rate for this. And if you do that, That's nice, but on this problem, we get 47.5 is the unit rate, so we don't really want decimals in here. So to simplify, we're just going to divide by 2. I know that 190 is divisible by 2 because it ends in 0. So 190 divided by 2 will give us 95. So 95 over 2. Now that's going to help us with this 6 days, because if I put a 6 down here, now we can clearly see to get from 2 to 6, we're going to multiply by 3. So we're going to multiply that 95 by 3 to get an answer of 285. Then you can just fill in your ratio table with the information. Again, if you want to put it in order, so if you want 95 first, because that's the smallest number of miles, and then 190 to 4, 285 to 6, that's fine. If you just put them in the order that you found them, like if you have 190 over 4 first, then 95 over 2, and then this last, that's fine. As long as you get your answer. Our answer that we are looking for is 285. Okay? Well, I hope this helped you out a little bit. And if you have any questions, kind of jot them down because you might forget by the time we have class together again. So jot them down just so you can ask me for clarification. All right. And since you watched this video, I'll go ahead and share a little picture of me. This is me doing this video with a Snapchat filter. There you go. See you later, guys.